Welcome to Born for the Trades, a home service podcast, and I'm your host, Mandeep. Today, we have amazing guest here, introducing Michael Agugliaro, second, founder of Warrior Today and a true force in personal and business empowerment, starting martial arts at age 4 and publishing How to Be a Modern Day Warrior by 18. Michael's journey is all about transformation. Now 25, he's debt free with a thriving wealth portfolio and inspires others through impactful experiences like fire walks and high profile coaching. From overcoming addiction to losing over 90 pounds, Michael's story proves that powerful change is possible. Tune in to hear how he guides people to live intentionally and reach their fullest potential. Welcome to our show, Michael.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my pleasure. And let's start. I think let's start with your journey. If you want to share, about your journey and what inspired you to start training in martial arts at such a young age, and how has that influenced your life today?
Yeah, so I started training martial arts when I was 4, and my dad has been a lifelong martial artist. So as a kid, right, you always watch your dad and you're like, oh, I want to do what dad does. So he actually taught martial arts, and I started training under him. And it just progressed over my life. I tried sports as a kid, like basketball wasn't my thing. I tried soccer, wasn't my thing, but martial arts and honing the physical body was a really fun to me, right? It was you against yourself, against your own mind. And that just kind of progressed as I grew up and going through high school. It's just the one thing to this day at 25. Now it's been 21 years. I've never stopped training martial arts to this day. I still go train 2 to 3 times a week.
2 to 3 times a week still?
Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. There's everything focuses on different areas. Soccer, all sports play a component, but martial arts at its core, I feel, is one of the few physical activities that forces you to reflect inwards and create the highest level of self-discipline, self-accountability, because there's not really anyone there pushing you. It's the instructor, your class, and then yourself when you're training on your own. So it forced a lot of self-reflection and self-accountability in me from a very young age to progress through it at the rate I did, the speed I did, to reach the level I did.
That's amazing to know about your journey and your experience with martial arts, and you are still doing it every week. That's amazing. Can you tell us about the journey that led to the founding of Warrior Today?
Yeah, so training martial arts, for the entirety of my life, and then being in high school around the age of 16, I started to have thoughts of like, what am I going to do? College wasn't the way I wanted to go. I wasn't the typical kid who was like, yeah, I'm going to go to college. That was never my goal. And, like I said, going back to watching my dad, he was an entrepreneur, right? I watched
Yes.
him grow his business and scale and exit it. And it got to the point I want to live a lifestyle of financial freedom doing something I love every single day. So at 16, I'm done with high school. I dropped out. And my dad went, listen, you got two choices. You got to work or start a business, but you can't do nothing. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start a martial arts school. Now,
Yeah.
I didn't want to do what I considered the strip mall dojo style of school. I wanted to do an underground dojo. So my garage, it was a two-car garage. I set it up into a great dojo, had mats and weapons all over the wall, like
Wow.
every young kid's dream. And
Right.
I started Warrior Today.
That's amazing. And I know we met at the event that was Pantheon, right?
Yeah, Pantheon.
Pantheon, and you gave me your copy of your new book. And just for the listener, for the audience, like what motivated you to write How to Be a Modern Day Warrior at just 18 years old?
Yeah, so at 18, I was looking at the industry and I read every martial arts guru's book. I know all those guys, it's been years of doing it. And I went, there's something missing. There's no play by play guide on how to get into martial arts. There was no
Right.
play by play guide on how to start with martial arts. And martial arts is a very intimidating thing for a lot of people. They go, I'm going to get beat up. And I went, no, it doesn't need to be that way. So I took a stance in the industry of martial arts and I went, I'm going to be the villain who tells everyone where to start, how to start, and what's good and what's not in my
Right.
eyes, right? Just my experience. And I created a guide on how to start with the fundamental basics from all the martial arts that I've trained and
Mhm.
give everyone useful skills where you don't have to go to a dojo and pay to get a belt or pay to learn. You could
Right.
get the fundamentals to survive in a real altercation and hone your physical body. And I wanted to create that because it was just missing in the industry. And I don't like watching people struggle. And it was something I was so passionate about when I heard so many people tell me all the time their number one objection is I don't know where to start. I went, I'm going to give them where to start.
That's amazing. And was your dad like, inspiration while writing this book?
Yeah, so he actually came to me and he said, at 17 years old, I started writing the book. And the reason I started it was he had a friend of his who's a big guru in the martial arts space. I mean, he is a world-class individual. And he told me, he said, listen, you didn't do your time. You got to do your time before people take you serious. And I went, that's really crazy. This guy hasn't written a book. He does teach. He has a lot of, history. But I went, what am I going to do different? So at 18, I went, I'm going to write the book. I'm going to publish it and I'm going to give myself credibility and authority in the space. And I did that by shaking the industry. I challenged everything that people have been saying for 20 and 30 years about martial arts. And I went, we don't need the fluff. We need the
Right.
real stuff. So that's what really did it. And of course, he was in my ear going, you got to do a book. I was like, okay, I'll do a book on that.
No, that's really good. I didn't get, to be very honest, I didn't get a chance to read, but yes, over the weekend, that's what I'm planning to do that. And for the audience, those who want to grab a copy of your book, how can they, get it? Like, is it on Amazon? Like any platform that you want to share for the audience?
Yeah, you can get both my books on Amazon. They're both under my name. You just search Michael Agugliaro II. It'll pop up. There's How to Be a Modern Day Warrior. There's the Relentless Leadership Playbook. They can buy both on there. And if anyone wants a free copy, just find me on Facebook and let me know. I'll send you the e-copy if you want it too.
Oh, that's amazing. So generous of you. So for the listeners, please, follow Michael on Facebook and you can DM him and you will get his new copy of his book. So that's amazing. So you have worked with many high profile entrepreneurs. What's the most common challenge they face and how do you help them overcome it?
Yeah, so I've had the pleasure of working from everyone from the average service business owner was actually my favorite to work with, those guys, to some of the high level people, they're worth 500 million, 250 million, their net
Wow.
worth, right?
Wow.
High profile people. And the one similarity from, the smaller business owner to those guys worth that much is a level of confidence in themselves. There's a lot of self-doubt and negative talk. So although I helped them with martial arts, it was really fundamentally building the stepping stones and foundation of self-confidence, self-empowerment through the physical act of going, yes, you grew a business, but you can also push your body how much further, which in turn helped them start to scale their businesses. They started to challenge their limiting beliefs. I used to be a pretty intense instructor, so I didn't take no for an answer. It's like, you got to do 50 burpees. We're going to do the 50 burpees, whether it takes you 20 minutes
Hmm.
or 2 hours, we're going to do them. And I
Hmm.
used to push those entrepreneurs past the point they thought they could go, that limiting point, and go, no, you can push further. You can push harder. We just got to think about it different. And it was one of my favorite ways I used to help entrepreneurs, especially in the service industry. There's a lot of negative self talk that they would battle.
Yeah. I think that's the way to do it, like, by challenging, like, others and yourself as well at the same time.
I want to give a special shout out to Rilla, the sales coaching AI software that holds the technicians accountable and gives them the support and guidance they need to maximize all the opportunities you spend your hard-earned money on. Our friends at Elite Call, the outbounding specialists, a service that brings wasted leads and brings them back to life to create more opportunity and keep the dispatch board full, integrate them right there into Service Titan for you.
I want to give special shout out to Grow Reviews, one of our sponsors, America's first platform to capture instant text and video reviews. If a picture is 1,000 words, a video is worth a million. Book a demo with Grow Reviews by visiting website www.growreviews.com and you can get in touch with their sales reps to book a demo. And I know if you want to just go more deeper into what kind of like challenges. I know you talked about burpees, but what other challenges? Because I have see your warrior people going out, walking on those firewalks. What do you call, right?
Yeah.
You want to
Yeah.
share what kind of challenges are there?
Yeah. So in the dojo, I trained in traditional martial arts now, very traditional, kenjutsu, Tenshinryu kenjutsu, which is live sword, Okinawan weapons, Daitaru jujitsu, it's really old martial arts, and Shorin karate. And a lot of them go into physical conditioning past the point you can, right? Your mind tells you. It's being
Hmm.
able to go over that edge and a little more. So my favorite exercise I used to have people do, and this one's really intense,
Okay.
is I used to have what's called the iron wall. And the iron wall was bags filled with sand and beans. And the
Hmm.
whole idea of the iron wall is to condition your hands, your body, whatever it is. And normally you start with your fist and you punch and you punch and you punch. And it gets to the point your hand hurts, but it doesn't bleed. And my students used to go, well, Sensei Michael, I can't go any further. I go, no, you can go further. Your hand will be fine. And they would push further and further and further, as well as, I did board breaks with them, which was a lot of fun. And my favorite version of the board break, although I do love fire walks, there's nothing more empowering than standing over a board with all
Hmm.
these limiting beliefs written on it, and then I light it on fire. So it's
Wow.
a fire board break. And they used to have to stand over it. And they used to go, can we just go back to the iron wall? And I go, no, we got to do the board break now. And they would break these flaming boards. And that was one of my other favorite exercises besides the iron wall. And it was just, how do you stretch your mind to show, the ability to go further is there, the ability to move past the beliefs and understand that where you're at now to where you want to go, it all just takes a choice to do more, to push harder, to push through the uncomfortable, move
Right.
through the discomfort. Yeah.
Right. I love that. And this is like, one of my favorite quotes where I say, like, get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's where actually you push yourself and take yourself to the next level. Right.
Yeah.
And like overcoming addiction and losing significant weight is a huge transformation. What mindset shifts were crucial in that process when you did that?
Yeah. So, it got to the point, I was so complacent and I was so unhappy with where I was at in life. I was battling with personal demons, right?
Yeah.
And some people go, whatever it is you want to frame it as. To me, I frame it as they were the personal demons, the negative talk, all those things. And, it got to the point one day I looked in the mirror and I didn't like who was looking back. And I didn't recognize who was looking back anymore. I'll actually after this send you some pictures of what I used to look like because it's I look at it now and I still can't believe it. But it took the point at which I went, I no more. There's going to be a change. And people always ask, what's the silver pill? The silver pill was the night I looked in the mirror and I went, I don't like what's going on. I'm either going to change or that's it. I give up. And I looked in the mirror and that night, I remember the night like it was yesterday. I went, I'm going to change tonight. And I went out, I started doing burpees, I started doing push-ups, I go to the far end of the extreme and I just kept going more and more and more and starting to go, okay, physical activity is done. What's the mental activity I need to do? And I started working through the mental garbage. So there's no silver pill, but that was the defining moment is I finally woke up, I walked in that bathroom and I went, I don't like who this is anymore. I'm going to change it. I don't care what it takes. And I pushed for 6 months. I ate the same thing every day. I hit macros. I did intermittent fasting. I
Hmm.
tell everyone I did keto, 7 years ago before it was cool. I did intermittent fasting 7 years ago before it
Yeah.
was cool. I did all these intense things because I wanted to make the change. And once I made the decision, I was going to do it no matter what. I didn't care if it broke my body, broke my mind. I was going to change.
That's amazing. So proud of you. Congratulations on that achievement. It's not easy. It's not easy, and I think it's all about mindset. That you just said it. That you gotta do it. You have to do it and stick to it. And I think discipline plays a big role. Commitment, and no matter what, if you tell your mind that you have to do it, then you have to. You have to stick to it. If you get off the track, yeah, I think again you have to come back to the track, like motivate yourself, like surround yourself with people like you and others, right? That's the way to do it, and I think that's a big achievement, and thanks for sharing with us.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. What advice do you have for someone looking to design their life and business with intention like you have done?
The first thing a lot of people, I always give them to consider is what is your North Star? What is the goal you're working towards achieving? What is the thing you wanted? So for me, when I was 16, I wanted to be able to travel. I wanted to go be able to visit cool places. So I went, what's going to do that? Creating my own business. Working for someone else wasn't going to do it. So I had my North Star. And then what I
Mm.
did is I wrote down every other component of my life that I wanted it to look like. So now today I get to travel, go wherever I want, whenever I want. I get to like next week I'm going to Virginia Beach for a month, and then the couple of weeks after that I'm going to go up to in the new year. I'm going to come back up to New Jersey, and then after that I'm going to go up to Maine, and then I might go out west. And the only reason I'm able to do these is years ago, I made that a key fundamental I needed to create. So everything I did, every business I did, every venture I went into, it had to fit the model of what I want to achieve, where I wanted to go, what the financial numbers looked like. I mean, I have it down to the relationships around me I wanted to have. That's how descriptive I got. So it's having a descriptive North Star, final goal, vision board, whatever avenue works for you. But for me, it was just list out the North Star. Let's work towards it.
Sorry. Yeah, that's amazing. Thanks for sharing and inspiring others. This is definitely, going to help a lot of listeners and to me as well personally, because I have some goals, and I think for the last 12 months it has been challenging to hit my goal, and I get off track. But yes, now is the time, and I think I'm gonna aim for that. Thanks for motivating me.
Yeah, of course.
And looking back on your journey so far, what has been the most rewarding moment for you in empowering others?
So when it comes to empowering others, I always go back to the airplane motto, right? You got to put the mask on yourself first, then you put it on the person next to you. And a key fundamental moment for me and being able to help a lot of people came from the moment I used to say I wasted so much time. I wasted years on addiction, years being overweight. And I used to live with, oh, I wasted time. Now I don't look at it as a waste of time. I look at it as that was just part of my journey to get me here. And the one of the major things I help a lot of the business owners I work with, the high level consultants I work with, is understanding the time it took to get where you're at now wasn't wasted. You wouldn't be here if you didn't achieve those things, if you didn't struggle through those things, if those things weren't part of your story. So reflecting on myself, putting that mask on, I'm able to gift that gift to other people faster than I had to learn it because it was self
Yeah.
reflection for me. I'm able to give others that gift. And it's one of my favorite gifts I'm able to give all the clients that I consult and coach is that's not wasted time. It was just
Mhm.
part of your journey to get you here right now. And I'm a big believer in right time order. Everything happens at the right time, not the time you want it, the time it's supposed to happen.
I love that. You gave me goosebumps. And I think a lot of people they call it right. It has been very challenging year. A lot of obstacles. I would say start saying it should be blessful year, right? Those are blessings. Whatever happened, and everything happens at the right time, like you said. And looking at your hardships, your challenges, your struggles, it makes you strong. And I think I believe in God, and I'm sure you and others as well, those who are listening. I think God has a plan for you, and even those challenges are coming your way. Actually, it is meant to be to make you stronger than before, so that you personally and whatever you're doing, so that you can take it to the next level. I hope you agree to that.
Yeah, 100%. If you don't face the challenges that are in front of you, and I started to call them opportunities, right? It's just opportunities for growth. If you don't face them, like they're going to just show up again and again until you're finally willing to sit down and go, okay, this is the opportunity here or the challenge. Let me solve this. Let me face this. And you have to be willing to stand there with your chest held high and your head held and be willing to face those things. Like the challenges are there to help you grow. You can't ignore them. They won't let you ignore them.
Yeah, no, that's true. So, Mike, I think last thing that I would ask you, if anyone wants to reach out, I know you have mentioned about the Facebook. If anyone wants to reach out and help to take their personally and business to the next level, what's the platform where people can reach out? And we're gonna just link in the bio in the description area.
Yeah, of course. So, two great places, Facebook and Instagram. Instagram is just my name, it's Michael Agugliaro. And then if you want to reach out about any kind of consulting opportunities like that, how I could serve in any way, fooddog.group.com, which is on my cool shirt here. So, fooddog.group.com. And the thing I tell everyone is if you reach out to me on Facebook, it's me responding. There's no one else in there. I don't have like chat bots, I don't have a VA or anything. It's me. I like that connection with everyone. So, if you
Yeah.
reach out to me there or Instagram, you'll get me. Send me questions, whatever I can do to help serve anyone, you, your listeners, I'm more than happy to.
That's amazing. Thanks for sharing. And I would like to thank our sponsors, Rilla. And if you guys haven't checked out Rilla, go check out Rilla, how the amazing product is with car ride alongs and how the sales is going to the moon with the help of Rilla. And another sponsor, Elite Call. If you guys are not utilizing outbound calling, you gotta be in touch with Elite Call and how you can take their help to have like 5% booking rate on your calendar. Those are like missed opportunities. And Grow Reviews. It's amazing platform to get instant text and video reviews. That's definitely game changer where Google loves reviews and you gotta build that up. And that's how, people will get to know more about you. And again, once again, thank you, Mike, for coming on our show. And we're gonna link everything about your new book. I'm super excited to share with everyone and with all the audience. I'm sure they're gonna love your book. And thanks for sharing your story and motivating others. Proud of you. Keep crushing it.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.